Pixar just knows their way to my heart, and I love it. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the brand new Pixar movie, Onward. This film comes out this weekend. I need your comments down below. Are you looking forward to this movie, and what did you think about the trailer? So let's talk about it. Onward is set in a suburban fantasy world. Two teenage elf brothers are embarking on a quest to discover if there is still magic out there. That's what IMDb says, but the movie really is a bit more than that, because this quest is to accomplish one goal, one mission, and that is to see their father one more time. Now, when they cast this spell, they have 24 hours to see their dad. But when it first happens, something goes wrong, and they get half of their father. The legs. And when I saw that in the trailer for the first time, and I don't even think it was actually in the first trailer. I think it was in the second trailer, the first official 2-minute long one. I was a bit nervous and hesitant because even though I thought it could be super cute, and you got Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, it's also something that comes off as cheesy if you handle it in a cheesy way. And those were my concerns going in, and I rarely have concerns to this level that I had revolving around the movie Onward. But thankfully, this film is much more than what it could have been. It actually executes on the brilliance of the storyline that had my blood pumping. What's going to happen with their father? What's the relationship with their father like prior to what happened to him in the first place? And what's the brotherhood like? Because I love, and maybe it's where I'm a sucker for, a good movie revolving around either a father or son relationship or brotherhood. I mean, I have a younger brother, and don't tell him. I don't know if he's going to watch this video. But the relationship that you see in this movie was a tad bit similar to the relationship that I have with my brother, and maybe that's the reason why I relate to this film so hard. But I'm always the adventurous, crazy, slightly nerdy guy who's a bit too loud in public. That's me. My brother is very much like Tom Holland's character because he's much more quiet and reserved than I am. Now, that keeps him out of trouble for sure, but he relates to Ian in those sensibilities, and I am much more like Barley. And both of these characters within this film, they allow the audience to relate to, and even if it's not the entire character, but it's certain sensibilities within those characters and things that they do within the story, I found just so real. And that's the beauty of this movie. A movie about magical creatures, a fantastical quest where they're casting spells, and there isn't one human being in this film. And obviously, it's an animated film. They made it feel so realistic, whether it is the mother's relationship with her kids, that brotherly relationship, or just the fact that they want to have one more conversation with their father, one more chance to see him and allow him to see who they have grown into. But for the majority of the film, right, they're on the quest to fulfill this. We get legs. That's all we're getting. And we're getting the dad's legs. And the way that they went about that was actually really funny. They almost control the legs like you would a dog on a leash. They even have a leash for the legs. But they're very clever in the way that they allow communication between the father and the sons. And that entire aspect of the story, I thought, really worked well. But it's not just that. There are more things going on. We have Julia Louis-Dreyfus playing the mother and Laurel Lightfoot. We have Octavia Spencer in this movie playing the Manticore. And each side character that they slightly put at the forefront, even the boyfriend, the mom's boyfriend, they could have easily handled that in such a cliche way. Oh, he's the jerk that no one really cares about. He's the mom's boyfriend. But no, they didn't do that. They actually made him a character, and he had these interesting quirks. Just the way that he walks around, I thought was really funny, and they're very detail-oriented within this film about the characters. So all of those storylines, the ones that they focus on, worked really well. Now, this film doesn't necessarily have the Pixar magic that some other top-tier Pixar movies have, and I can easily see many, walking out of this movie disappointed in it if you have super high expectations. My expectations weren't the highest, so I was actually surprised with what I got. But if you're thinking Pixar, if you're thinking Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, who did a wonderful job in this movie, by the way, you could be disappointed, especially if you don't have a similar relationship to the relationships in this movie. And you can look at any of these family or friend dynamics, and they don't necessarily focus on the friends of the characters as much, unless you're talking about the adults, but it's the brotherhood. that's what it's focused on. If you're not buying into the storyline of the Brotherhood, if you don't care as much as, say, I did, then you may not love this movie as much, and that's absolutely okay. Not every Pixar film has to work on the level. It's so tough to compare this to other Pixar movies. You look at something like a Toy Story, Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Inside Out, Up. I mean, all of these films are astounding. This doesn't get to that level. So in terms of other Pixar films, it's probably lower than a lot of those movies, but it's still a really good movie and one of the best movies of the year. It's a wonderfully animated film on a technical level. It is beautiful to look at. I love the set design, the way that they go about utilizing these characters at the forefront while the backgrounds are so photorealistic, and the way that this movie ends. I will not spoil a thing. I was very concerned that it would go in a very conventional direction. Thankfully, it didn't do that, and the end of the film is actually my favorite part of the entire movie, because there were moments within the second act I'm like, okay guys, can we pick this up? I don't really care about this storyline as much. Some dialogue that felt a bit useless at times, but in the grand scheme of things, the majority of the film is really fun, really entertaining. It's what Bright on Netflix should have been. I mean, different movie, obviously, but just the fun, the entertainment. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you like what we're doing on this channel, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. And I'm going 80% for Onward. I told you guys, I was thoroughly entertained. I could not believe I liked this movie on the level that I did after being so hesitant going in. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave those comments down below. As you all know, I live in Kentucky. Not a lot of people down here that share my passion and love for movies, but I did meet someone today at the theater watching this early screening. His name is Dylan. He has a YouTube channel. Seems like a great guy. Cannot wait to go and check out a ton of his content. So if you guys would like to support him, that would be totally awesome. You may even see us do a couple of things together in the future. Thank you guys for watching. You're the best. I'll see you soon.